Plaintiff Aaron Mans says the defendant is his nephew. And when Aaron opened a barbershop, he took the defendant under his wing and taught him the trade. Aaron claims everything was good with their relationship until a female customer tore them apart. And he's suing his nephew today for booth rent and stolen property. Defendant Joel Kane says the woman who came between him and Aaron was more than just a random female customer. She and Joel were in a serious relationship, and Aaron was sending her inappropriate text messages behind Joel's back. Joel's countersuing his uncle for defamation.
Start with you.
Yes, sir. This is my nephew. Very close relationship. After he got out of high school, I had to open up the barbershop in '09. Yeah, he wanted to learn the trade. Took him under my wing, got him together. Hairlines was a little shifty, but we worked through it. He mastered the hairlines. Everything was cool until a woman that comes into the shop just tore our relationship up.
How long after he started did a woman come in and spoil things, as you say?
Well, it just started. We opened the shop in '09, I say 16.
Okay, so what happened? How did the woman come between the two of you?
Well, we get a lot of single mothers, a lot of women that come in the barbershop.
Would y'all be hitting on the women then?
No.
You married or what's happening? You married or you free?
Never free. Just free spirit.
That's a good point there.
Nothing's never free. Free spirited. Just from the area we work in is urban. We do a lot for the community. A lot of young guys come in my shop. They want to earn money. I let them sweep, clean the parking lot. I can't save them all, but I can save them one at a time. Good. So a lot of the women you could tell were single mothers. They like some of the structure we would give their sons, so they enjoy coming in the shop. A lot of women would love coming in our shop because we weren't aggressive compared to other shops in the city. So it was a good time, a good situation.
The young lady involving the two of you, what happened there?
Well, she came in and he wasn't in the shop. I cut her son. We were conversating. Very nice looking young lady, just conversation. She asked for my number. I'm the owner.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Let him finish. Go ahead.
She asked me for my number for the simple fact if Joel wasn't there, because he's preoccupied doing other things. We also both work for the city of Indianapolis, so we're busy guys. So she wanted my number in case he wasn't there because she liked the way I cut her son's hair. No problem. Didn't think nothing of it, Your Honor. Didn't think nothing of it. When the next time she comes in, he's there, I'm there. She said, I'm waiting on Aaron. That was it. That's when he
blew up. Sir?
How you doing, Your Honor? Thank you for having me today. As the plaintiff stated, that is my uncle, and we did cut hair together at the barbershop. And it is true, he did help me out a lot of ways with the haircuts and the hairlines and things, told me how to use the razor. Just nature of the barbering game, he really helped me out a lot. As far as the woman that he's describing, it was way more serious than what he's saying.
No,
she wasn't just some kind of random girl that comes in the shop. She wasn't just a single mother. The whole barbershop knew that we were in a serious relationship, whereas my uncle, he knew we were in a serious relationship.
She was everybody's girl, Your Honor.
That's not true, Your Honor. Your Honor, that's not true.
She was everybody.
So I want to go a little deeper in the background. You know, as he stated, he did help me out a lot. But I believe our relationship began to go kind of sour when the student began to surpass the master. And what I mean by that is, you know, the stuff he began to show me, my skills began to surpass his skills. So people he's been cutting for years, you know, he'll say, hey, Jim, you know, I have two and I have you next. Well, now, Aaron, I'm going to sit in Joel's chair today.
Go ahead.
Our relationship really began to go sour when one day she told me, you know, I need to talk to you. I'm like, well, what's going on? She said, well, your uncle's been texting me inappropriate things, messages and stuff.
That's not correct, Your Honor.
So I'm like, what kind of messages? You know, she's like, well, you know, things like, what are you doing this weekend? Sending her selfies. Can I take you out? You need a more mature man. You don't need a young man.
Really?
Yes, Your Honor.
Listen to that.
So I'm like,
you did. You're mad because he cut better than you and he cop better than you.
That's not true, Your Honor.
So you cut and cop better than him.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
So I was hot. I was livid because, you know, we're family. You're not supposed to violate family.
So what'd you do? You approach him about it?
The next day I approached him. I took him to the back of the shop and I asked him. I said, hey.
And I laughed. I laughed.
This situation needs to be fixed. You said that, you know, this and that, and I want to know what's going on.
You hit on my woman, period.
Exactly. So, of course, he denied it. He said, you know, he tried to switch it. Well, who you going to believe? You going to believe your family? You going to believe this random girl? And then he begins to change the narrative and says, well, while we're talking, I want my booth rent. I'm like, you want your booth rent? What are you talking about?
Okay, if you're getting into the booth rent, let me allow him to lead off with that, and then we'll get back to you on that. I'll give your version.
The last time I received booth rent from Joel.
What was the agreement first? Let's start there.
It's $125 a week. Verbal agreement with the barbers. It's just cash in hand. Their money pays my overhead. The money I make cutting goes to the family.
And nobody pays their IRS. Go ahead.
I pay mine.
That's what
They get their,
Go ahead.
the barber game is a good hustle.
Go ahead.
It was
$125 a week.
Yes,
you was
sir.
to pay, and then what happened?
Well, 9/6/16 is the last time I received booth rent from Joe.
When did he leave, if at all?
He left December.
Okay.
Not only
true,
did he
Your Honor.
not only did he leave, I come into the shop. His stuff is gone. Fine, I can replace him. But I look over at my station, my Masters, my Andys, my razor, my blade wash. Don't nobody know, and he's missing in action.
Along with your equipment.
Yeah, and my bread. My nephew, mind you, once he got into the barber shop, when I had my twin daughters, I got on with the city. So guess who else I pulled in?
Him?
I didn't trip about the money because he's family.
You still helped him after the money incident?
Come on, Judge
That's not
Matthew.
true, Your Honor.
Hey,
That's false.
family will do you wrong regardless. You still gotta love them. Person on the street that you don't know, they'll treat you better than sometimes your family. So I didn't have no ill feel towards him.
Your Honor, the person that actually got us on with the city actually stole that client as well. He started sitting in my chair. So I was going to get on with the city regardless of him helping me or not.
Ooh, I hate when people do
Ain't
that.
that something?
You help him. Oh, I was going to get that regardless.
And when you
Or
help
he-
somebody, you don't
you're
talk-
not the one that got it. I got this on my own.
And he excelled with the city. And that's very...
What do you tell me, sir, about the rent?
Yes, sir. So to back up some, like he stated, in September was the last time that I paid him any booth rent. So we lost about 4 or 5 barbers in the barbershop. So, we were doing kind of bad. I made a proposal that I would help him with half of the rent as well as some of the utilities. In return, I wouldn't have to pay any booth rent. So from September through December, I was giving him cash to help him out with some of the bills as well as the rent. So it was bad. The argument became bad. And after he told me that, I'm like, you know what? I don't have to deal with this. So I left the barbershop. And after I thought about it for a couple hours, I said, you know what? I don't need this negative energy. I don't need these problems. I'm just going to dismiss myself from the whole situation at hand. I'm just going to leave. So later that night, when I went to the barbershop, I took all my belongings.
Later that night.
Yeah, why'd you have to take him in the middle of the night?
Thank you.
Well, it happened towards the evening when we got in the argument.
So why didn't you take him then?
Was it?
It was a spur of the moment. I kind of just left. I didn't want to take it right then. I didn't want to leave right then and there. I didn't. After I thought about it, I took a deep breath, stepped away from the situation. I said, you know what? Ultimately, I need to go ahead and just remove myself from the situation.
That just happened to be 2 a.m.
It wasn't 2 a.m., Your Honor. It was late.
2:30ish.
Go ahead, sir.
Around that.
So I took the equipment and I took everything that belonged to me.
Let's get to the rent again one more time. How many months did you pay from September through December?
4.
And you paid how much each month?
$400.
Sticking with that story, sir. So how much do you say he gave from September through December?
I haven't received anything from my nephew but heartache.
Tell me about any of the discussions that you all have had.
I would just say, Joel, tax time just went by. You got a couple thousand for me that you owe me. You owe me $2,125. And with my equipment, I said, I'll cash that because I done bought new equipment since then.
What did he say?
I got you, Unc.
That's false, Your Honor. He asked me for the booth rent.
And what have you told him?
And that's when I told him, well, if I'm giving, why would I pay booth rent on top of giving you half of the
When
money?
was the last time he asked, if you can recall?
When we had the argument that was in the end of December.
When my stuff came up missing along with his stuff out of the shop.
And that's the last time you all discussed it. And you had paid $400 a month for 4 months by that time?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
And so did you remind him of that?
I
you say,
did.
hey, I've been paying you $400 a month. What you talking about?
I did, and he tried to flip the script again. Well, no, that's not the case.
That's why I
You still
took it
need
to
give
Judge
me booth
Mathis
rent as
because
I said, well, what sense does that make? I still need to give you
What
booth
sense does it make for him to come here and lie
make a
about?
personal day, not in the shop today.
Just make a story up. This is essentially what you're saying. He's just making it up.
Yes, sir. That's Your
You know
Honor.
how smooth he looked right at you? See that? He's under oath.
Counterclaim for $2,500. How does?
So the counterclaim, Your Honor, defamation of character. So when I had left, a few days after I had left the barbershop with my equipment, I began to receive different messages and stuff, phone calls from people. Hey, where you at? Why aren't you at the shop? You know, your uncle's saying that you stole from him and you ran out on paying booth rent and you did him bad and you were messing up people's haircuts. Just a whole bunch of stories that weren't even true. No. So I was like, okay, he's just mad that I left, so I'm not going to worry about it. So probably 3 days later, I had went to another barbershop around the corner from ours, and I wanted to inquire about cutting hair there. So I spoke to the owner, and I told him, you know, my situation. And he basically told me, well, you know, Joel, I can't let you work here for the simple fact that around the neighborhood, the word's going on.
You're a known thief.
Exactly, Your Honor. And that's what the Far East Side isn't big at all. Everybody knows everybody. It's like telephone. You tell one story, it flips, and it's a whole nother story.
And he told you that your uncle had said you were a thief?
I'm not a good liar. People, where's Joel at? Been there since 09. He has a nice clientele. His chair is right next to mine. They know we work together.
Where do you work now?
Now, I pretty much go to different, I go to their house or they...
Won't nobody take you?
Not for the Far East Side. That's for the defamation of character. I have to go all the way out west, north. It's a shame, Your Honor. I don't want to be known as a thief.
I mean, they believe him. Everybody believes it.
Yeah, I'm not there to defend myself.
Why everybody believe it then?
I wasn't there to defend myself when he's saying these things.
It's your word against his, but everybody take his word.
Right.
I'm not there to defend myself. That's all.
And I'm not a good liar. Where's Joe? I'm going to tell him.
You said all the people. You know who it is. You go there. Can I get a job here? Nope. Heard you stealing.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the time. That's the time to give your side.
And I did, Your Honor. And that's when they told me.
Nobody believes you.
They believe me. They just said they don't want
Why they didn't hire you?
They didn't want to get in the middle of that uncle and nephew relationship.
Do you mind if someone else hires him?
I want him to come back. It would bother me.
And I would like to, but my character is defamed. So when clients come in, we got to keep telling the same story 30, 40 times to get my name straight.
Nephew. It's the truth.
It's not the truth.
If you would have just paid, we wouldn't.
So I would like to come back, but I mean, we'll see how it goes.
People are going to talk regardless. I just got tired of, first month I'm like, I don't know, he's working. Then I just said, you know what? It is what it is.
So you want me to believe that he just made this up? What motive does he have to make up a story to try and hurt your reputation? What motive?
Jealousy, Your Honor.
Oh, get on out of here. Jealous
of what?
We both
have homes. We both
Your
have
Honor,
cars.
He would have people
jealous of what?
Well, I would do afros that looks like Steve Harvey and yourselves. He would do it look like Eddie Kane. It wasn't looking good. I would want to help him, but pride gets in the way.
That's a lie.
I believe him. $2,439. When I don't have enough evidence, I go by the person I believe, and I do believe you over him. Based on your testimony, I believe you. Okay. All right, your claim dismissed for defamation. Good luck to you guys. Good job.
Well, hopefully it was rectify the situation and Joe can come back to the barbershop and we can do what we've been doing for the last 10 years.
I hope we can. We're family, you know. We're bigger than this. So hopefully we can get past this and move on.
All right. Cool. Thanks.